Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Today's topic is actually a pretty good one, and I probably would guess that each and every one, or at least most of you in my audience, have experienced some sort of dealing with this situation. And I'm going to give you 4 tips to keep you sane when your family or friends won't stop drinking. I also want to do my daily quote, not my daily quote, my inspirational little saying. And today's is called Be a Positive Thinker. Have confidence in yourself. Have a very strong sense of purpose in life. Never have excuses for not doing something. Always try your hardest for perfection. Never consider the idea of failing, because that is a negative thought. Work extremely hard towards your goals. Know who you are, understand your weaknesses as well as your strong points. Accept and benefit from criticism. Know when to defend what you are doing. Be creative. Do not be afraid to be a little different in finding initiative solutions that will enable you to achieve your dreams. This was written by Susan Polis-Schutz, and it's titled Be a Positive Thinker. So that is today's inspirational little saying. I want to give a shout out to Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at 516-485-2741. That's 516-485-2741. Geis Academy. Larry Geis is an addiction recovery coach. He's a life coach. You can also Google him at www.odysseyconsultant.org. That's www.odysseyconsultant.org. Call Larry Geis at 516-485-2741 and tell Larry that you heard about him on the Take Your Life Back Today show. GlobalEyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money, and I'm focused on helping you with selecting your glasses. If you Google www.globaleyeglasses.com and you want to place an order and you have questions like, is the frame the right size for me? What type of lenses do I need? I want to be able to see far and near. Well, folks, you can go with progressive, which is a no-line bifocal. You can go with a line bifocal. But you might ask, what about when I go outside? I want them to change color. Well, you can go with transition, or you can go with photochromatic. Both do the same thing. One might fit your budget a little better than the other. You might say, Ralph, I have problems driving at night. The glare is annoying. Well, you, my friend, might need anti-reflecting coating. This is why it's so great that you can text me at 631-599-0218 or call me at 844-405-HELP, and I will help place the order for GlobalEyeglasses.com. They are focused on saving you money. I am focused on helping you with your order, and for every person that calls me or texts me and places an order with me, I will give you a coupon code for free shipping upon placement of order. You need to start today. You need to get your eyeglasses. Text me at 631-599-0218 or call me at 844-405-HELP, and I will help you place your order with GlobalEyeglasses.com. I am a board-certified optician with over 30 years experience, so get a hold of me, GlobalEyeglasses.com. 4 tips to keep you sane when your family or friends won't stop drinking. Folks, those were and still are my worst memories. They are the ones that are embedded in my mind so vividly I can still remember what I was wearing when I experienced my experiences with maybe a friend or a family member who had a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction. I remember what I was wearing. I remember what was said to these people. All of the moments I wish I could forget have one thing in common. The common denominator is that someone I knew couldn't stop drinking. Watching someone slowly destroy themselves is like some kind of Greek tragedy, where all the potential and love and beauty in that person slowly subsides in a pit of Febreze and shame. They say it's a family disease, and I get that. It doesn't heal the wounds any faster. I have had to watch loved ones crash and burn so many times. I have learned a lot from these experiences. I remember when I was the guy who couldn't stop drinking myself. I remember what it was like when someone wanted to help me, and all I could think to do was to tell them I had no problems, to leave me alone. I don't judge active addicts, no matter how far down they are falling. I know there is always a way back up. I can only speak from my own experiences, but I hope it may help someone who is watching someone they love fight these monsters with maybe dealing with them in a better, sensible way. Tip number 1 is, remember folks, it is not personal when your loved one or family member is abusing drugs or alcohol. It feels personal, but it's not personal. It feels personal because of all the quiet and heartfelt conversations we have had with our loved ones, where they promise you that this is the last time they'll abuse. They really mean it, and you tell them that you are there for them. You tell them that they need to reach out to you if they need to help. They always say they will, but it seems like the phone calls only come after they have already picked up the drink, when the beer, the booze, the drugs start speaking for them. I assure you that you're not doing it to punish, they're not doing it to punish you folks. They are not drinking or getting high to prove a point. They are doing it because they don't understand themselves, and that is the only way they know how to stop whatever discomfort they are experiencing. Resenting a drug addict for drugs will only cause you pain. Yes, everyone is responsible for their own actions, but you can't allow your loved one's addiction to ruin the both of you. You need to be the stronger of you two. It's easy to say, but very difficult to do. But you can't take someone else's drug use personal. It's not about you. It's about them. Number 2 on the list is, you can't save anyone. Addiction knows no knight in shining armor. If you think somehow you can swoop in and solve the loved one's problems for them, and magically their drug habits will disappear, you're wrong. And you are in for a tough lesson, my friend. Don't get me wrong, we must help each other. I am by no means telling you to cut people off and watch while someone drinks themselves to death. No, no, no. I am simply saying that if someone you love is in the ring with an addiction, the only way for them to get sober is to do some real hard and honest work on themselves. They must solve their own addiction problems from the inside out. They must go to therapy, and they should, and hopefully you will, offer to go with them. Bring them to the meetings, maybe help them with some groceries or whatever it takes to help them. But you cannot save someone that doesn't want to be saved. Been down that road. It sucks, it really sucks, especially when you are someone that has gotten sober yourself. You might be in recovery or in sobriety like I am. You know what it takes. You see this person you love going through so much pain, and you just want to help them and for them to be happy. But if you are in sobriety and in recovery, you know it takes that person to finally admit that they have a problem, to break that wall of denial down. But they have to do it themselves. This is just the way it is, and no amount of heroism or rescue efforts will ever change that. Number 3, no one owes you anything, my friend. I get sad when I see this happen. I have done it myself. It's completely unnecessary. If you decide to go out of your way to help someone, please don't expect to get anything in return. For one, if you're going to help someone, the reason should never be out of self-interest. It's bad energy, and you will only be left disappointed. Most importantly, don't forget that the point is to help the person. The point is for them to find recovery and enjoy the life of freedom that we will desire and we want for them. If someone gets sober, the worst thing you could do is to hold your actions over that person's head. Using someone's guilt or shame against them is flat out wrong. It is counterproductive, and it will not ever help this person. I get it. There is a balance. Sometimes debt have to be repaid, and if someone you love gets sober, that person needs to start pulling their own weight. They need to step up and participate in life and in their relationships. But to say you owe me is ridiculous, and it's very cruel. No one owes you anything. The reward of seeing your loved one sober and happy should be reward itself to be and to put expectations on someone's sobriety is only going to hurt everyone involved, including you. Number 4, there is always hope. This is the biggest one out of the 4. There is always hope. It's not all death and destruction. People do get better in sobriety, and happiness are both entirely achievable. I am the perfect example of that. No matter what happens, no matter how betrayed you feel or how angry you become, there is always hope for someone battling addiction. I've seen the worst of the worst. I felt the worst of the worst. People who would do the worst kinds of things and tell the worst kinds of lies in order to get their fix, but many of them are sober today and are wonderful, beautiful people. Seriously, there is always hope. I am upfront and a blunt person with you. Many times I get told I should be more sensitive to people and their feelings, and there is probably some truth to that. But let's be real, drug addicts can be tough to deal with, and the best way to deal with them is facts and be straight and upfront and transparent. They will lie to you to your face. They will steal your money. They will break your heart and somehow make you feel guilty about it. It doesn't mean that you should give up on them. It just means that the person is sick and doesn't know how to get better and needs to be guided. No matter what happens, don't ever lose hope in that particular person. Is there a chance that your loved one may never get sober and will continue to let you down? Of course there is. There is always that chance. But there is always the chance that the bottom they need is right around the corner. There is a chance that one day your beautiful son, your daughter, your wife, your husband, your friends, your boyfriend, or your mom will be willing to be truthful with themselves and will be the first little window into the life that they can have, and that wall of denial will start breaking down. Never ever give up on yourself or on someone else. Never lose hope. People do get better, and people will get better if you don't give up hope and if you continue to support them. These are the 4 tips to keep you sane when your family and friends won't stop drinking. Tip number 1, it's not personal. Please don't ever take it personal. They are not doing it to destroy you. They are destroying themselves. So please do not take it personal. It feels personal, but it's not. It feels personal because all of the quiet and heartfelt conversations you might have had with this person is not doing one thing. They are listening, but they don't hear you. Number 2, you can't save anyone. It is not up to you to save. It is up to you to support this person, to be on this person's side, but you cannot save them. I have said this so many times before. They need to break that wall of denial, otherwise known as rock bottom. And then they need to reach to the higher power, always known as the Lord Jesus Christ. In conjunction with breaking the wall of denial and reaching for God for guidance and direction, this person will be saved, but you cannot save anyone. You might think you can, but you really can't. Number 3, no one owes you anything. Don't try to help someone like a friend or a family member thinking you will get anything in return. The only reward you will get in return is that the satisfaction that you have helped a person. The satisfaction of knowing that this person will eventually, hopefully, break that wall of denial and reach out for a higher power. The only reward, the only compensation you will get is knowing that you were a participant in this person's life and still are, hopefully, a participant in this person's life of recovery. I get sad when I see this happen. I have done it myself, and it's completely unnecessary. If you decide to go out of your way to help someone, please don't expect anything, I mean anything, in return. For one, if you're going to help someone, the reason should never be out of self-interest. It's bad energy, and you will only be left disappointed. Most importantly, don't forget that the point is to help the person. The point is for them to find recovery and enjoy a life of freedom that will we all desire for them. And last but not least is number 4, the huge one. There is hope. It's not all death and destruction out there. People do get better, and sobriety and happiness are both entirely achievable. No matter what happens, no matter how betrayed you feel or how angry you have become, there is always hope for someone battling addiction. I have seen the worst of the worst. People who would do the worst kinds of things and tell the worst kinds of lies in order to get their fix, but many of them are sober today and wonderful people, including myself, including many actors, many magicians, many politicians. If you allow this person, be a crutch to the person, allow this person to find themselves, to find the issue that they have with their drug and alcohol, to finally hit rock bottom, to finally break that wall of denial, and to finally reach for higher power, know that there is hope for them. Seriously, there is hope. I am upfront, blunt person, and I'm telling you there is hope. Many times I get told that I should be more sensitive to people and their feelings, and there is probably some truth to that. But let's be real, drug addicts can be the most terrible people in the world by the things they say and the things they do. They will lie right to your face. They will steal your money. They will break your heart and somehow make you feel guilty about it. Doesn't mean that you should ever give up on them. It means that this person is sick and doesn't know how to get better. And with your support and the support of others, they will find, hopefully, their way. No matter what happens, don't ever lose hope. Is there a chance that your loved one may never get sober and will continue to let you down? Of course there's that chance. There's always a chance of that happening. But there's also the chance that the bottom they need is right around the corner. There is a chance that one day your beautiful son, your daughter, your husband, your wife, your uncle, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your neighbor, your best friend will be willing to be truthful with themselves and be the first little window of life that they might experience for help. Guide them, direct them. Never give up, never lose hope. People do get better, and people will get better with your support. Folks, always try to think that only through hope all is accomplished, but more importantly, only through God everything can be accomplished. Help them realize that rock bottom consists of 2 things: breaking that wall of denial and finally admitting they have a problem, and also reaching out to the Lord Jesus for guidance and direction. Folks, if you start thinking positive in life, like this thing that I read here, if you start having confidence in yourself, have a very strong sense of purpose, never excuse for not doing something, always try your hardest for perfection, never ever consider the idea of failing, work extremely hard toward your goals, know who you are, understand your weaknesses as well as your strong points, accept and benefit from criticism, know when to defend what you're doing, be creative, do not be afraid to be a little different in finding solutions that will enable you to achieve your dreams. If you start thinking positive things will happen in your life. I promise you that. Remember what I always tell you, my friends, that all changes in life, no matter how big the change or how small the change, only happen with very small steps. Changes are like babies. Babies learn to crawl, then they learn to walk, and then they learn to run. Well, changes are the same thing. Over little steps, we'll progress into bigger steps. We'll progress into changes galore. Teach your children to say no to drugs and alcohol from the day they fully understand, all the way until they leave your nest, your home. That way you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have done your best to raise your children with the proper knowledge. Folks, remember, a sober day, a sober today, I promise you will give you a better tomorrow. If you stay sober from now until you go to bed tonight, tomorrow morning you will wake up with no hangover. You will wake up remembering the day before. And if you repeat that pattern day after day after day, it will become a life of full sobriety, a life with memories, a life with less health issues, a life with a better relationship, a life with better financial stability. Those are all things that I promise you, the minute you start admitting you have a problem and the minute you reach out to God for guidance and direction, all that will happen with changes that are in steps, and the outcome at the end of the day will be remarkable. Folks, I hope to God each and every one of my audience has the best day of their life, but I really hope and I really do pray for each and every one to have a sober rest of their lives, and may God bless.